Okay guys, we're going to go back to market and we're going to do something I rarely do.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. This is your first time here. I am the big fella Scruff. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. And at this moment in time, I'm trying to stay out the way of the builders, because you'll hear them bashing around like there's no tomorrow. I'm sort of relegated into this room, which is an absolute shit tip, because we've got everything everywhere. They've got plaster all over the place. Don't try and work while you're doing a house renovation. And also, don't try and trade the news, which is what I'm going to do right now. Because there are certain characteristics you can look for when you are news trading, is to see how that market is going to spike. Now, at the end of the video, I'll explain it a little bit more, because I am going to have to concentrate a little bit on this. Simply, what time is it? It's coming up to 2:45, and the news announcement's 3 o'clock. So about 15 minutes. And then after the sort of trade, because it's going to be a quick snap of a trade, but I'll explain what it is I'm looking at prior to going into it. I'll show you a little bit about the house as well. Because if you've been following the channel, a lot of people are interested in the house. Because I stupidly bought a house that's 130-year-old. It's never been touched in decades, and fortunately, it's starting to come together, but the place is a mess. But I'm going to give a little salute out to the 5%ers. And why is that? Because if it wasn't for the 5%ers, I wouldn't have bought this house this year. I've been looking for a house for a couple of years, and this one came, and it was slightly out of budget, because we were buying this without a mortgage. We were buying it cash. And everything in my life is like that. I don't owe anything. It's sort of like my Range Rover that you see me drive around in. I paid for that outright. And that was from the 5%ers as well. So let me explain that. I don't spend any of the money that I get from them. Not really. You know, sometimes I recycle the money back to the squad so I can buy cameras, keep it running, keep the servers going, all of that sort of thing. And I'm a big believer in giving things back, which is probably why I do these videos. One, I enjoy them. I enjoy making them immensely. And it's just showing you that the world can be correct in the trading world, because a lot of it's on flash cash, Lamborghinis, all that sort of thing. For fuck's sake. If you think you're turning 500 into $1 million, you're a feckin' moron. You really are. Because it's not happening. It really isn't. And I don't care how many people show you that it is possible. I'm telling you it's not. And why? Because I live in reality, not in la la land. Can you do it? You can, but you're not going to do it in 3 months. It takes time, dedication, and a lot of bloody hard work. I've done this job now. Well, I've traded full time for myself as a wage 6 years, but I've traded professionally for 19. You know, coming on 19 years in the industry. I started life mail order, and we used to have to do trading in the form of currency translation, which is called forward purchasing, in order to sort of buy US dollars to buy goods in far off land. And then when we were dealing with Europe, we had to buy euros, things like that. Time the exchange rate right, you make money. So that's where my passion for this came from. When the company closed, well, it was a skill set that I enjoyed, and I turned it into my full-time career when that company shut 6 years ago. Now, I was the managing director of that company. I had all the responsibility, etc. And when it shut, I was age 47-year-old. Who's going to employ me? I mean, trust me, I'm a good boss, but I'm a terrible employee. I really am. Because I like to do things my way. You know, even when I was in the blue chip sector, before I went out into my own world, I was a good account manager. I was a real good account manager. And I was good to the people that work with me, you know. But I still wanted to do it my way. And I'm the same now. When I look at the charts, it's my way. It's something that I've developed over the years, and you get a skill set. And that's what this little monologue is driving at. It takes a long time to get your skill set. And once you've got it, you can hone that skill. And then it's just a case of how much your account is. You know, it takes money to make money. Don't be stupid. Trade small account size to get a big account size. And what does that mean? Keep your positions small. But the shout out to the 5%ers is they gave me the opportunity to accelerate my earnings by just basically copying what I do on my wage into a prop fund. And over the last 2 years, I keep liquidizing the accounts to draw the profits out of them. I don't leave the profit in. I'll liquidize the account, get the money out, build it back up again. Simple as that. Not bothered about growth or the synthetic, oh, I've got a £200,000 account. Well, I do. It's bigger than that. Because I've been through the milestones, but I don't shout about it too much because one, I think it's a bit crass. And the other part of it is, it doesn't exist. The thing with prop industry is, when they say they're giving you a £1 million account, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds of what you consider to be funding, which I know because I've done it and I've got it, it's not real. It doesn't exist. What exists is the drawdown. The drawdown is your account, and you size appropriately to the drawdown, not the fund. The fund is just your buying power. That's all it's there for. It's the leverage. And what I will say is, if you're sizing to the fund account and not paying attention to the drawdown, your account ain't going to last long. You know, you can have a good few weeks and you have a good few months. Excuse me. But eventually it'll catch up. And the day it catches up is the day it'll wipe the account out. So just be careful, guys. Because I've had lots and lots of inquiries recently about the funding. It's a marvellous way to go forward. But you've got to treat it with one thing most people don't, and that's respect. So with that out of the way, and a little salute to the Fivers for helping me buy this house, because that's what I did. All of last year I saved the money. It accounted for a reasonable sum in December. We saw this house, put a cash offer in, it was accepted, got it bought, and the surplus money I've got is now making it into a better house. Marvellous. So, what are we doing? Being daft, I think. Right, let me flick this over. Okay. We're going to look at USJPY. And the reason being is, this has caught my eye. But the part that is really catching my eye is this. It looks like steady grinding motion down. And it is. But what that's telling me is, that is hesitation. And why? Well, look, normally when you have a market that is moving and grinding up, it'll grind up and it'll come down aggressively, you know. And it's the same. You've got long and short. Now, a lot of people don't actually understand where that comes from. But if you think about it this way, it takes a long time for a market to grind up. You often say climbing the stairs. But it takes a short time for it to come down. So long time to go up, short time to come down. Long and short. The other one is you go up the stairs and down the elevator. All right. So with that in mind, what you can see here is it's pushing down, pushing down. Now we have key levels here, here, and here. Now there's a major news event coming, and this thing could spike easily 50, 60 pips, and I'm prepared for it, right? But I'm going to look to start buying this market, not selling it, buy it around here, and I'm going to run it all the way down to this black line. So where's this come from? Well, let's have a little look, shall we? There's the motion pushing down, okay? And there is pressure, and we did have an accelerant here. but it's found this arena. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm looking sort of really down the chart is this one will find the tops of that. This one will find this cluster, and this one finds the bottom of the cluster. If it gets down to here, well, then we'll have to see what happens when it gets down there. But that's where staging comes into this, because I'm not a believer in putting 100% market. I stage into the market, and I stage in as it goes against me. In fact, I want it to go against me beforehand. Now, it's a concept most people don't get, but professional traders do, because most professional traders trade this way. They tip the toe in the water and they build a position backwards to go forwards. That's why you get caught out in stop hunts, or what you call a stop hunt. They don't exist. It's just them being better at the job than you and understanding what's going on. Now, at these levels, they are key levels that I know are reaction points. Now, you do hear a lot of things, look for an order block, look for liquidity draws, all of this. It's no different than just a bounce off a level. You know, 2 equal highs is no different from a double top or a double bottom. It's just the same. All right. So I try and keep the terminology as simple as possible, because I think there's too much sort of smoke and mirrors. And that's what most of trading is, smoke and mirrors. But if you break it down to brass tacks, it's up, down, nowhere. That's it. Then you're looking at possible areas of interest. Well, that's what these levels are. That's what the top and the bottom of the move is. They're just areas of interest. Now, my theory is very simple. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist. So if you tell me there's orders there, I don't know. Can't see them. So they don't exist. But what I do know exists is that move. And I do know markets come back to where they've been. Echo of the past for a vision of the future. Levels. Always king. So let's have a look and see what these levels can do. Now, we can reinforce them on the hour by looking for the base and the top, just like so. Now I'm going to put some key markers in here. Now they're going to be in blue. If you bear with me. And what we're seeing is it's starting to make up a picture. Now the 61.8, which is this one here that I've just drawn in. You have to excuse me, my hands spasming today, so you'll see the mouse flying all over the place. Here, all right? So I expect to get in probably in this zone here. Right, just take this away. This zone here. Now I can easily slam down into that, which is probably my preferred place for it to go. But I'll be happy to enter this section here as well. Okay, so that's it marked up. Let's take this down into 15 minutes just to see what's happening. Well, we can now see when you look at the makeup, there's a lot of green starting to come in. Okay, the reds are still there, so there's still a lot of pressure to the downside. But look at the candles. You know, small, 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 big. Try to push down, big. Try to push down, hammer. Good indication of a change of sentiment. Chunky. Came down, push. Another hammer. Change of sentiment. Boom. This one slammed up, slammed down. Right? That was the news announcement earlier on, showing there's a lot of buying kicking around here. And now they're revving back up again. Tail, green. Try to push down. Hasn't broke the low of that. Green. For me, this market is going to move up in the next 5 minutes. So what we're going to do is I'll leave the camera running. We'll drop it into a 5-minute chart. And I'm going to put preempting orders in. Now, they are going to be sort of from the base of this down into here somewhere. So I'm going to watch the first minute or so, look to get in, see where the direction is, and in. But I will be going long. Okay, so that's the premise of the trade. Let's see what happens. Okay, boys and girls, that's the job done. Been stopped out. It has spiked up again, but sadly, we've been paid really well today. Let me just get my mouse onto here and we'll find out. So there's no tickets left. Closed off the orders, and that is the day, 1,063. So I'm quite pleased with how this has gone. You saw me do that as the challenge for the squad. Thank you very much, Duke. That was really appreciated. Then I did that one for me because I felt I should. And then I did this because there was a lot of chatter about news events. Now, I don't preempt the news very often, but today's setups were pretty darn good. Good to the fact that it was worth doing what I was doing. Why? Because of the compression, it had to explode. And it did what I wanted it to do. So I'm quite happy. And talking of happy, you're going to like this one because it's been a wild day today. It's been a wild day because, well, you might have heard the banging and the shouting and everything. We've had builders in all day. The internet's been on and off like a yo-yo because they kept pulling the bloody wires out. The house is a complete wreck. Here, I'll show you. So, boys and girls, here we are, Scruffy house. And it is the second Scruffy house and all. God, the plasterers have been wild today. So, there's our front room or our porch. As we can see, it is covered in shite. But wait till you see the living room. Get a bit of light on the job. Whee! Brand new fire that cost a fortune, and I had to do the covering up because they thought that they could do it without splattering. Not a chance. Anyway, what else have they done? They've been doing quite well today, actually. Started the staircase today, so they've done that side rather, and they're coming back to do that tomorrow when they finish off up here. But as we come up the stairs, you'll kind of see why. So, come up here. It's getting better. But they've done up to the side. This all needed bonding. Kind of see it there. They've bonded it all up because they made a complete arse of it when they pulled the wall out. And then all this is getting bonded up. All the pipes hidden, so when it's done, it'll look quite nice. You know, just one, and it's just a nice arch walking through. And then they came into here. We've had a merry time in here as well. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, man, I meant to bloody put the plaster over the top of the frickin' socket. Crazy buggers. But again, Scruffy gets. But we'll get our radiators on soon. Get them done by this weekend. But now, plastered. The house is coming together. Fantastic. That means Winky will leave me alone. But the noise today has been horrendous. They've knocked the living shit out of the whole house. They kept knocking the bloody broadband off because they kept putting the bloody things through the pipes, through the cables rather. It's been torture. But had a good day work. The house is starting to fall into place. Winky's happy, so that means I'm not getting my head kicked in. Fantastic. Catch you all soon. What is going on? But we're getting there, one step further. But something happened today that is absolutely fantastic. Just a second. Wink, yeah. Here a minute. You're going to love this. I mean, because like I said, the day has been utter chaos all day. And if it could go wrong, it would go wrong. Sit there. Right? It could go wrong. It did go wrong. But Winky made my day today. Let's just put it this way. I haven't stopped pissing myself laughing since she told me. And I'm going, please God, be it right. Please God. What did you do today?
What did I do?
Well, let's just say it involved a huge rubber dildo and a charity shop and an old age pensioner. So please look into the cameras, Winky. Come here. Never mind hiding.
I know. Yeah.
You can't see this one. Right, I'm going to wind this one right out. Hold on. Where's she at? we have to excuse the house because it is. We have well, you've seen it. It's in bits, but yeah, huge dildo, old age woman, charity shop, winky.
I put it in the bag by mistake. It was a joke present one year for the kids for Christmas.
It wasn't a joke present. It was your.
It was like a stress thing. You know, you used to have.
She had a big squeezy willy, and she was going to put it in the rubbish bag because apparently you're not allowed to have those things in the house. It's disgusting.
Anyway, it ended up in
Wasn't
the
it?
bag.
And she put it in the charity bag and gave it to an old age pensioner. So the charity people are going to be really happy tonight. I've told her to take another bag tomorrow, and she won't go. Why won't you go? You embarrassed.
You could go.
Oh, I'm going now. And I'll find out the old age pensioner that had it because it'll be the one with the big smile on the face going, woo. Oh.
Rude to you.
I'm not rude. I wasn't the one with the big dildo. Was you? Yeah. Just to clarify, by the way, she isn't a deviant. More's the pity. Our kids think because we have a warped sense of humour and I act like a child, that it was a good idea for a Christmas present for her. Actually, I thought it was funny then as well. No?
What? The old lady was like that.
Oh, I haven't stopped pissing since you came in. She goes, oh, you don't believe what I've just done. Fantastic. Anyway, so that's our day. We've had a wonderful day today. It's been chaos all day.
Easy mistake.
Easy mistake. Well, I suppose the other mistake was when you sent the vibrator and they sent it back because apparently it knocked their teeth out.
Now you're making it up.
Sorry. Right, we're going to have our tea now. It's been a long day. So if you're stuck, I'm very easy found, very amenable. You can talk to the wild wonder if you want, but don't expect any sense out of him. Let's be honest, you can't even put things in the right bag. Yeah, I think you did it on purpose, actually. I'd have done it on purpose, that's for sure. Anyway, so as always, boys and girls, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, play with your dildos. Do what you love and the money. Well, look. See you later.